Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Alexandria, my medieval cloud core island. So today we are building a medieval library and it's classy, it's old world, and it's also recorded with the Goldie branches. So when you see me talking to people, you see my face gabbing on in the corner, that's what's going on. If you would like to hang out with us for some extra streams, their links are all down in the description below. But without further ado, let us start the build. So after I had completely cleaned up this area, it used to be a flower bush tree storage area. I laid down some stone path in the front and some terracotta pathing in the back, and then I downloaded this amazing code, this tile by Alex of Fodland, and I'll put the links in the description. Of course, check out their Instagram because man, the talent. The tile is going to be for the inside of the library, and then the stone portion is going to be the outside entrance. I'm gonna put down this path all along this front area. I don't know, it's really textured. I don't think it matches with the vibe. Maybe this one. Ooh, maybe something with this or the brick pattern. Yes, I'm gonna do bricks like this and I'll break them up because I love doing that. So like I said, I decided to go with a broken up brick look. I love doing this. I've done it on several islands and I think it just makes the ground look very textured and dynamic and interesting without adding a lot of lag to your island, without adding really a lot of thought to it, because you're just putting down paths in kind of a random order, breaking them up with the end pieces for the tile, and then going back and putting some sparkles and stones in the middle of it. It looks chaotic, and that's because it is, but it will turn out pretty, I hope. This is actually the style of pathing that I used in front of my museum, which is on the right corner. This build, as you can see, is on the left top corner of my island. And I don't know if I really want these two areas to feel the same, because this is technically not the elegant cloud area of my island. This is like more of the natural medieval forest on this lower level. I'm still not sure yet, and I do enjoy what I did in this build, so we're gonna leave it like that until I think of something else to do with this area. And I don't know which accent tile. I only have room for one. Should I go like simple, this one, or should I go more, even more detailed with this accent piece? Simple is boring. She's a straight shooter. I appreciate it. And once we had that accent tile, I just put it in a spacing so that it looked like a decorative tile accent, because this is a very fancy medieval library. So we gotta have some flair now and again on this tile, as you would. So after I had placed all of that tile down, it was time to decide on which castle wall variation I was going to use for this build. I might have to take a trip to the alpaca because I don't know what colorway I really want for this library. Oh, that looks pretty though. But it doesn't look very like library-ish. Do you know what I mean? Oh, that colorway though. Okay, I need to know which colorway we should go with to match everything. And I feel like this one is pretty good. This one also works. I don't think that the gray works. My entire castle is in the gray, so I wonder if switching it up would be good or if we should keep it the same. Not gray, it doesn't pop. Yeah, I agree. Far left. I like the left too, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna have to customize some stuff. The ones that'll match the bookshelves. You're so smart. Will these look good with the bookshelves? This one does not match this one. Maybe I need to customize my bookshelves again to the darker version so that it matches the walls and it matches... Okay, we're just gonna customize one and see, because I really do like this colorway. I think it's really cool. Yeah, this one matches a lot better. I think it works. I think we gotta go to some alpaca. One quick trip to the alpaca later. So once I had all of my pieces customized to the correct colorway that I wanted for this build, I put them all in place, decided that I wanted to go with the medieval building sides versus the castle walls, and then after a little bit of time I decided that I wanted to put two castle towers on either end of this build just to frame it in a little bit more, make it feel more of an imposing kind of building. But this presented its own problems because the spacing didn't exactly work out perfectly, and I was left with a small gap on either side of the build. I don't like that. That's the hard part about centering the arch in the middle, because the arch is a 3 wide item. Do I do like a double arched entrance with a medieval building side in the middle? Maybe a column item? Let me grab a couple of the white ones just so we can match it. Like that? It's just enough to block your eye from really seeing down the side of the building. The double gate would be perfect. Not feeling the pillars. Okay. I'll try it with the double gate. That means that I have to go back to Reese and Cyrus. Boom, 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 boom. Hello. I return. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture with the columns first, because I don't mind them actually. They're kind of cute. But I would like to try a couple of different options here. Let's see. So that's picture number 1. Of how it looks. Oh, you know what? I think I might like the pillars. What do you think? With the pillars or with the double gate? I kind of like it with the pillars. And then we can put something on top of the pillars. I'm going to put these pillars over here because I like them on the sides, but I'm also not sure if I like the other situation too. So maybe we just need to be extra and just put a bunch of stuff. I'm back again. Like the dark brick? I added a few more accents to the outside of this build, as well as changing the customization of the fountain to be white so that it matched the columns a little bit better. I also put in these cedars, but the pot, of course, is not the right color, so when I do get the right cedars, then I will add those in. With a little change of the fountain, we're ready to start putting items on the inside. The number one thing that I did want was that main winged statue in the center as a nice centerpiece to our library, but the other 2 statues don't end up staying because all of the bookcases and interior items take away from the space that is used for statues. And now we got a brilliant idea to turn the medieval building sides in so that you have the lights and also the little window all facing inside. So what I did was actually a combination of castle walls and medieval building sides turned inwards, and this creates a really nice look when you're on the inside. I actually have not seen it yet at night. That was something that I kind of forgot to go back and look at, but I'm sure with all the candles that I put in, it's going to be a beautiful sight to see at night. So once I had the sides established, I moved on to the back wall, which I had a kind of idea about, but it wasn't super clear. And once I started building it out, I realized I needed a lot more castle wall items, so I time traveled to the next day to continue the build. I am loving this library. Let's try some stuff. So I really like your idea with the jail bars, and I'm going to try that in the very middle of here, and I think that it's a super cool idea. It turned out so good with the fireplace in front of this window, and I feel like the jail bars really help it to feel like a window. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly the spacing that I wanted, and if I wanted to do double bookshelves or I wanted to end it off with a castle tower. I ended up going with the castle tower and only putting 1 bookshelf on either side of this castle library. Oh, this is cute. Okay, I think I need to move these slightly away from the fireplace. Give the fireplace its own moment, you know? This is so cozy. I want to hang out here. Actually, rainy day. Let's go. However, it's going to rain inside the library, but we'll just ignore that. And then it was time to start decorating this library. Now that we've done all of the pathing, we've done all of the outside building for this library. It took a little bit of time, but we got there, and I started to put down the all-important bookshelves and some other accents, realizing that the statues were kind of cramping my style a little bit. so I took them away. Prior to doing this build, I did go to some treasure islands to gather some items, but none of them had actual bookcases. I could only find books, so I hauled to get books, and then I hauled to craft a bunch before doing this live stream. Unfortunately, I did not have enough materials, enough books to completely deck out this library. I ended up opening up my gates to the Goldie branches so that they could come deliver me some things, and I'm so grateful that they were able to help me out. We ended up going with a double wide bookcase situation just to make it feel a little bit more thick, so that you can tell that there are books on either side. It was just looking a little bit bare with only one bookcase. So even though you can't see the other side of the books, it still adds that feeling of these double wide thick bookcases. And now I'm just adding a little kind of like study area back here. This is where the scribes probably would hang out. I love the Moroccan tables. They actually feel like such a medieval item. And I went with the wedding candles instead of just the plain candle, but I do end up putting a lot of different kinds of candles around in this build. I'm in jail. I want to invite via dodo code. I'm fully aware of the consequences, Orville. At this point in the build, I had used up all of the items that I had. I found out that I don't have the wooden stool recipe, so I could have gone at this point to a treasure island, but because I was streaming to just the Goldie Branch members, I decided to have some people over, and they brought me a plethora of beautiful library items. Thank you so much to Blink Girl and to Christy. So first thing is first, we worked on bulking up those bookcases, which made a big difference. I think that it just adds a little bit more depth versus having just one single thickness. I did try out putting like 2 side-by-side bookcases, but it did really get in the way and clog up this build. I still wanted it to feel like a very cozy library. Like, this is not a big city library. This is just like a decently sized library for the scribes to hang out, for the knowledge to be shared. And also I feel like Alexandria as an island needed a library because of the ancient library of Alexandria, which is one of the reasons why I even named my island Alexandria. So I knew I wanted a library pretty early on, especially given the medieval cloud core, castle core kind of element. And it started raining, so we had all of our books getting quite rained on, which is totally fine. It kind of added to the atmosphere of this like dreary medieval library, but I do have some final shots of it in the daylight so you can see that. And I will eventually get some nighttime shots for you as well. Probably for the final island tour, we'll do a little section of it at night so that you can see it with all of the lights on, as I'm sure it looks amazing. And I created a third table area for the study section in the back here and just put some more accents around. In between the bookcases, I did want to add some items, but it doesn't have any leg right now, this entire area, which kind of surprises me because of the number of items, but it is surrounded by water, and I did leave a lot of space open for breathing room. We had an excellent final suggestion by Erin to make a little area for all of the quills and ink to be stored at the back there, so I did add in an elegant dresser with a sturdy sewing box on it, as well as a candle, and that turned out so cute. It was exactly the touch that we needed for that back area over here. So I put that in. First, I thought I wanted it to be a stair dresser, but the elegant dresser turned out to look so much nicer. And then we were done with the build, and it's time for some final shots of this beautiful Alexandria library on my island. I love it so much. Thank you so much again to the Goldie Branches for helping out with ideas and for bringing me some beautiful items to put into this build. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody. Gembet, you're such a little forest queen. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Look at this girl. Look at this girl.